Ambassador Mira Nguyen stood at the viewport of the Aurora, Earth's first diplomatic vessel capable of faster-than-light travel. The stars streaked by in brilliant ribbons of light as the ship hurtled toward Elith Prime, the central planetary hub of the Galactic Council. Her reflection stared back at her, steely eyes, hair pulled back in a practical knot. The formal uniform of Earth's unified government fitted perfectly to her athletic frame. 20 years in intelligence operations had prepared her for many things, but not for being humanity's first official representative to alien civilizations. 3 weeks ago, every communication system on Earth had simultaneously received the same message. Greetings, Earth. You have been integrated into the Galactic Council's protective sphere of influence. Your representatives are requested at Elith Prime for orientation and assignment. The message had been polite, almost benevolent in tone, but Mira knew better than most that diplomacy often concealed harsh realities. Her former role in Earth's intelligence division had taught her to read between lines, to sense threats beneath courtesies. Ambassador, we're approaching the coordinates, announced Captain Torres from the command deck. Elith Prime will be visible in approximately 5 minutes. Mira nodded, smoothing down her uniform. Thank you, Captain. Is the diplomatic team prepared? Yes, ma'am. Everyone's assembled in the briefing room, as requested. Mira turned from the stars and made her way through the gleaming corridors of the Aurora. The ship represented the pinnacle of human achievement, the culmination of a unified Earth that had finally set aside centuries of conflict to reach for the stars. The irony wasn't lost on her that humanity had barely achieved global peace when an external power arrived to integrate them. In the briefing room, 6 specialists waited. Dr. Aisha Okafor, xenobiologist, Commander James Rodriguez, security, Lien Wei, technology expert, Dr. Fatima Alzarani, cultural anthropologist, Nikolai Petrov, linguistic specialist, and Thomas Okeke, economic advisor. Each represented the best Earth had to offer. As you all know, Mira began, we've received minimal information about what awaits us. The Council's communications have been deliberately vague. Our primary mission remains clear: secure the best possible position for Earth within this new galactic framework. We represent 10 billion humans who didn't ask to be integrated into anything. Do we have any intelligence on the Council structure? Asked Commander Rodriguez. Mira activated the holographic display at the center of the table. Fragmented at best. We've decoded portions of the transmission data. The Council appears to be hierarchical, with member species organized into 9 tiers or ranks. The higher the rank, the greater the privileges and authority. And where do they intend to place us? Dr. Alzarani asked. Myra's expression tightened. That's what we're here to negotiate. Ambassador, Captain Torres's voice came through the intercom. You want to see this? The team followed Mira back to the bridge, where the viewport now revealed their destination. Elith Prime wasn't a planet in the conventional sense. It was a constructed world, a massive sphere with a surface composed entirely of gleaming structures, floating in perfect orbit around a small, blue-white star. Orbital rings circled it, bustling with traffic, ships of varying sizes and designs coming and going in ordered patterns. It's magnificent, whispered Dr. Okafor. It's intimidating, corrected Mira, which is precisely the point. As the Aurora approached, they received automated docking instructions. The message ended with, "Welcome, Earth representatives. Proceed to Central Reception Hall upon docking. An orientation guide will meet you there." The ship docked with surgical precision in a massive bay alongside vessels of wildly different designs, some organic-looking, others geometric, many defying human architectural logic entirely. As the team prepared to disembark, Mira addressed them one final time. Remember, we're not here as supplicants. Earth may be new to interstellar politics, but we deserve respect and fair treatment. Observe everything, share insights through secure channels only, and above all, reveal nothing about our technological capabilities beyond what they've already observed. The reception hall was a soaring space with a transparent ceiling revealing the star-dotted void above. Dozens of different species moved through the area, some vaguely humanoid, others entirely alien in form. The diversity was breathtaking. Beings of silicon, others seemingly composed of pure energy contained in specialized suits, still others with multiple limbs or sensory organs that defied categorization. A slender figure approached them, roughly humanoid, but with iridescent blue skin and eyes that seemed to contain swirling galaxies. I am Thale of Azuria, assigned as your orientation guide. Welcome to Elith Prime. Mira stepped forward. Ambassador Mirang Win of Earth. We appreciate your welcome and look forward to discussing Earth's relationship with the Galactic Council. Thale's expression remained neutral. Certainly. Please follow me to your assigned quarters. Your orientation will begin tomorrow after you've had time to rest. As they walked through the sprawling complex, Mira noted the subtle hierarchies at play. Certain species moved with confidence and authority, while others seemed deferential, almost submissive. She caught glimpses of security systems, information terminals, and what appeared to be commerce centers. In their assigned quarters, a suite of rooms with furnishings that attempted to approximate Earth standards, Thale provided them with communication devices. These will translate all Council languages and provide navigation assistance. Do not attempt to leave your designated areas without proper authorization. Thale paused. I must inform you that tomorrow you will meet with the Assignment Committee, who will determine Earth's status within the Council hierarchy. We're expecting a negotiation, Mira stated firmly. Something flickered across Thale's alien features. Too quick to interpret, but enough to register. The committee does not negotiate placement. They assess and assign based on established criteria. After Thale departed, the team secured their quarters against surveillance, as best they could with unfamiliar technology and compared observations. Did you notice how some species barely acknowledged others? Dr. Alzarani said, there's clearly a caste system at work. Nikolai nodded. In the architecture, the higher levels seem restricted to certain beings. I counted at least 3 security checkpoints that some species walked through freely while others were thoroughly scanned. Their technology is, Lien hesitated, inconsistent. Some systems appear centuries beyond ours, but others seem surprisingly comparable to what we've developed. And our guide, added Commander Rodriguez. There was something in Thale's manner when the ambassador mentioned negotiation. Mira considered all this. Tomorrow we'll learn more about where we stand. For now, rest and remain vigilant. The next morning, the assignment committee proved to be a panel of 5 beings, each representing what appeared to be the higher echelons of Council society. They sat elevated on a curved dais, looking down at the Earth delegation standing before them. The central figure, a tall, crystalline entity whose voice resonated with harmonic undertones, addressed them. Welcome, Earth representatives. I am High Counselor Vexorn. We have reviewed the preliminary assessment of your world and civilization. Mira stepped forward. High Counselor, before any assignments are made, we would like to better understand the structure of the Council and the responsibilities and rights of member worlds. The crystalline being shifted slightly. Earth has been thoroughly scanned and evaluated during our observation period. Based on your technological development, social structure, and resource potential, we have designated Earth as a rank 9 member world. Mira maintained her diplomatic posture despite the shock. And what does rank 9 entail? Another committee member, a being with metallic skin and glowing eyes, responded. Rank 9 worlds contribute resources and labor to the Council. In exchange, they receive protection and limited access to Council technology. After a probationary period of 200 Earth years, re-evaluation may be considered. Contribute resources and labor. Thomas Okeke stepped forward. You're describing indentured servitude. We're describing the natural order of galactic civilization, the crystalline being corrected. All worlds begin at rank 9 and earn advancement. That is the way of the Council. Myra's voice remained steady, though her mind raced. We request time to consult with our world's leadership before accepting any designation. The committee members exchanged glances. Your acceptance is not required, merely your compliance. Earth has already been integrated into the Council. This orientation is a courtesy, not a negotiation. The metallic being added. You will be provided with quota requirements for resources and population percentages allocated to Council service. Implementation must begin within 1 Earth rotation. 1 Earth rotation? Commander Rodriguez couldn't contain his disbelief. You expect us to return home and tell our people they're now laborers for an alien council with 1 day's notice? Your internal politics are not our concern, said the High Counselor dismissively. This session is concluded. Your guide will provide the necessary documentation. As they were escorted out, Mira noticed Thal's posture, tense, uncomfortable. When they reached a quiet corridor, she fell back slightly to walk alongside the Azurian. This is wrong, she said quietly. You know it. Thal kept walking, eyes forward. It is the way things are. We're people assigned rank 9 as well. A hesitation. Azuria entered at rank 8. That was 300 cycles ago. We are now rank 7. 300 cycles for 1 rank advancement. Thal stopped abruptly, checking that they weren't observed. Ambassador, I cannot discuss council policies. But the alien leaned closer. There are others who question. Seek out Jex of the KRYLT in the Lower Commerce District. Say you wish to trade cultural artifacts. Before Mira could respond, Thal resumed a professional demeanor as they reached the quarters. Your documentation will be delivered shortly. The Aurora has been authorized to depart tomorrow. That night, while the rest of the team analyzed the Council's demands, impossible quotas of mineral resources, population percentages allocated to Council projects, and restrictions on technological development, Mira slipped away to the Commerce District. The lower levels of Elith Prime were dramatically different from the pristine halls above. Here, the various species mingled more freely, though still with clear hierarchical deference. Small trading posts and gathering spots filled the spaces between structural supports. Myra's translator indicated she had reached the designated area. A being approached, reptilian in appearance but walking upright, with 4 arms and skin that shifted patterns like an octopus. Earth being seeks trade? It asked. I'm interested in cultural artifacts, Mira replied carefully. Thal of Azuria suggested I speak with Jex. The being's skin rippled with patterns. Follow. Mira was led through increasingly narrow passages until they reached a small chamber filled with objects from dozens of worlds. The reptilian being secured the door and then, surprisingly, laughed. So, Thal sent another rebel. Interesting choice with an Earth being. The skin patterns settled into a more uniform tone. I am Jex, and you are the first human I've met in person, though we've been watching your broadcasts for decades. I am Ambassador Miranwen, and I'm not a rebel. I'm a representative seeking fair treatment for my world. Jex's multifaceted eyes studied her. Same thing in the Council's view. Let me guess, rank 9 assignment? Resource quotas? Labor drafts? How did you know? Because that's how it always begins. Jex moved among the artifacts, selecting a small device. The Council doesn't integrate worlds, it consumes them. Resources first, then labor, finally culture and independence. They've been doing it for millennia. Mira studied the alien carefully. Why are you telling me this? Because, Jex said, activating the device, which created a small field that hummed softly. There are many of us, rank 7s, 8s, and 9s, who believe the Council structure is fundamentally corrupt. This jamming field will block surveillance. Now we can speak freely. Over the next hour, Jex revealed the truth behind the Council's facade. It wasn't an ancient, benevolent organization. It was a sophisticated system of control maintained by the highest-ranking species. Technology wasn't developed by the Council, but appropriated from member worlds, then restricted to maintain power imbalances. The most dangerous secret, Jex explained, is that the Council doesn't actually create technology. They steal it. The rank 1 and 2 worlds didn't ascend through merit. They were the founders who established the hierarchy. The rest of us provide innovation that they claim as their own, then parcel back to us with restrictions. If so many disagree with the system, why hasn't it been challenged? Mira asked. Isolation. The Council ensures member worlds communicate only through approved channels. Each species is told they're uniquely inadequate, requiring guidance. Until recently, we lower ranks didn't even know others shared our frustrations. Recently? What changed? Jex's skin shifted to a deep blue pattern. Some of us found ways to communicate outside Council protocols. A network has been forming, quietly, carefully, but we lack coordination and leadership. Mira considered this information carefully. I need proof. Something I can take back to Earth. Jex hesitated, then reached into a hidden compartment. This data crystal contains technical specifications for systems the Council claims are their proprietary technology. Your experts will recognize components from Earth's own developing technologies, along with those from dozen other worlds. As Mira prepared to leave, Jex added, "The annual conclave begins in 3 days. All Council representatives will attend. It would be unprecedented for a rank 9 representative to address the full assembly." Unprecedented doesn't mean impossible, Mira replied. For the next 2 days, Mira appeared to cooperate with the Council's procedures while her team secretly analyzed the data crystal. What they discovered confirmed Jex's claims and more. The Council's technological supremacy was largely illusory, maintained through restricted access rather than actual innovation. Dr. Okafor and Lien identified components of Earth's quantum communication systems integrated into what the Council presented as their own advanced technology. More disturbing were the resource allocation patterns. The higher-ranked worlds contributed almost nothing while receiving the majority of benefits. Through Thale, who had cautiously revealed sympathies with the Resistance Network, Mira arranged meetings with representatives from other low-ranked worlds. Each shared similar stories of exploitation and false promises of advancement. The night before the annual conclave, Mira gathered her team and their new allies, Thale, Jex, and representatives from 5 other rank 7 to 9 worlds. "Tomorrow, we have a choice," she told them. "Accept centuries of servitude or take a stand. I propose something the Council never anticipated. Unity among the supposedly inferior ranks." "What exactly are you planning, Ambassador?" asked Commander Rodriguez. "Something unprecedented," Mira replied. "I'm going to address the conclave and reject Earth's assignment." She turned to the alien representatives. "And I'm going to invite every world that's tired of exploitation to join us in a new alliance, one based on mutual benefit rather than hierarchy." "The Council will never allow it," said a gelatinous being from a rank 8 world. "They control all interstellar communication and transportation networks." Mira smiled. "That's what they want us to believe. But according to the data we've analyzed, their control relies on our compliance. If enough worlds withdraw simultaneously, it would collapse their system." Jex finished, skin patterns swirling excitedly. "Precisely. But we need coordination and a communication system they can't intercept." Mira turned to Lien. "That's where Earth's quantum entanglement comes in." Lien nodded. "We've been developing it for decades. It's not in any of the technology we've officially registered with the Council." Through the night, they formulated their plan. The unified government of Earth had anticipated potential hostility and had equipped the Aurora with more than diplomatic capabilities. Hidden within its systems were prototype quantum entanglement communicators, unhackable, instantaneous, and completely outside Council monitoring. The day of the conclave arrived. The Grand Assembly Hall of Elith Prime glittered with representatives from hundreds of worlds, arranged in their hierarchical tiers. The Earth delegation was positioned near the back, among the other rank 9 representatives. The proceedings began with ceremonial recognition of the highest-ranked worlds and their contributions to galactic harmony. Reports of resource acquisitions, carefully termed allocations, followed, along with announcements of new worlds welcomed into the Council. When the time came for new members to be formally recognized, Mira stepped forward instead of waiting to be called. She walked confidently to the central speaking platform, causing a stir among the assembly. "Rank 9 representatives must remain in their designated area," announced the Council official. Mira ignored him and continued to the platform. Security drones moved toward her, but hesitated when Thale and representatives from several other worlds stood as well. Reaching the platform, Mira activated her communication device to broadcast to the entire assembly. Distinguished representatives, I am Ambassador Mirang Win of Earth. I come before you not to accept Earth's assignment as a Rank 9 world, but to propose an alternative path forward. Murmurs swept through the hall. The High Counselor, Vexorn, rose from his elevated position. This is highly irregular. Return to designated area immediately. What's irregular, Mira continued, is a system that claims to be based on merit while deliberately suppressing advancement. What's irregular is appropriating technologies from member worlds while restricting those same worlds from using their own innovations. The murmurs grew louder. Security forces began moving through the crowd. The Earth delegation has analyzed the Council's technological systems, Mira announced, activating a holographic display that projected the evidence throughout the hall. What we found was astonishing: components and designs from dozens of worlds, many from species represented in this very room, all presented as proprietary Council technology. Vexorn's crystalline form flashed with light. This disruption will end now. Security removed the Earth delegation. But Mira had anticipated this. At her signal, Lien activated a bypass of the Council's communication systems, allowing her message to continue broadcasting even as the official channels attempted to cut her off. To every world that has been classified, restricted, and exploited, Earth extends an invitation. We propose a new alliance based on open exchange of ideas and technologies, mutual defense, and genuine cooperation. Throughout the hall, representatives of lower-ranked worlds began to stand. We call it the Alliance of Free Worlds, Mira continued. No hunks, no arbitrary restrictions, no cotas. Just mutual respect and shared progress. Security forces converged on the platform, but found their path blocked by representatives from multiple worlds. You have no authority to propose such an arrangement, Vexorn declared. This assembly is dissolved. All representatives, return to your quarters immediately. That's where you're wrong, Mira replied calmly. We don't need your permission to associate freely. Earth is withdrawing from the Galactic Council, effective immediately, and we invite any world that values true cooperation to join us. Chaos erupted in the assembly hall. Security systems activated, attempting to contain the spreading dissent. Mira and her team had prepared for this moment. As Council forces moved to arrest them, Jex activated an emergency transport system that whisked the Earth delegation and their closest allies to a predetermined rendezvous point. The Aurora is ready, Commander Rodriguez confirmed as they regrouped in a lower-level docking bay. But Council ships will pursue. Let them, Mira replied. The quantum communicators have already been distributed to our allies. By the time we reach Earth, dozens of worlds will have received our message and made their choice. As the Aurora broke away from Elith Prime, Council vessels indeed gave chase. But something unexpected happened. Ships from other worlds moved to intercept, creating a defensive screen that allowed the Aurora to activate its faster-than-light drive and disappear into the void. Back on Earth, preparations had already begun. Using the technical data provided by Jex and others, Earth scientists have been developing adaptations of Council technology, but without the artificial limitations imposed by the hierarchy. When the Aurora returned 2 weeks later, Mira found a world transformed. The quantum communicators had worked perfectly, establishing links with rebellious factions on 23 worlds. Already, ships from 7 different species had arrived in Earth's solar system, not as invaders, but as allies seeking refuge and offering their own technological expertise. A month after the Conclave disruption, the Council dispatched a fleet to Earth, expecting to find a single rebellious world in need of disciplining. Instead, they encountered a defensive array composed of ships and technologies from a dozen species, all working in concert with capabilities the Council had never anticipated. The standoff lasted 3 tense days. Finally, a communication came from the Council fleet. This rebellion cannot succeed, Vexorn's message stated. Return to your assigned status, and clemency may be possible. Mira, now serving as coordinator of the Alliance of Free Worlds, replied, "This is not a rebellion. It's an evolution. The old system served the few at the expense of the many. The Alliance offers a different path. Your Alliance cannot survive without Council infrastructure," Vexorn insisted. "Your trade routes, your communication networks, your defensive systems, all rely on Council technology. Did they ever truly belong to the Council?" Mira countered. "Or were they built with the labor, resources, and innovations of the very worlds you subjugated? We've discovered we can maintain these systems ourselves when we work together freely." In the end, no shots were fired. The Council fleet withdrew, but with a final warning. The Galactic Council does not recognize your alliance. You exist outside our protection. You will receive no Council assistance. "We never truly had your protection," Mira responded. "Only your control." In the months that followed, more worlds quietly defected to the Alliance. Council efforts to suppress information about the alternative system failed as quantum communicators spread through underground networks. A year after the confrontation at Earth, representatives from 67 former Council worlds convened in Earth's orbital assembly station. No tiered seating, no hierarchical arrangements. All representatives met as equals. Mira opened the session with words that would be recorded in the histories of dozens of worlds. "We gather not as rulers and ruled, but as partners in a grand endeavor. Each world brings unique perspectives, technologies, and cultures. Our strength lies not in uniformity, but in diversity, not in control, but in cooperation." That evening, standing at the viewport of the assembly station, Mira gazed out at the stars, the same stars that had once seemed so distant and now represented possibility. Thale joined her, the Azurian's skin shimmering with patterns of excitement. "The Council has proposed opening diplomatic channels with the Alliance. They're calling it normalization of relations between galactic entities." Mira smiled slightly. "They still can't bring themselves to acknowledge us as equals." "It's a beginning," Jex added, approaching from behind. 3 more Rank 6 worlds have requested information about joining. The Council is losing its grip. "This is just the first step," Mira replied, her gaze still fixed on the starfield beyond. "The real work lies ahead, building something truly better, not just different." As representatives from dozens of worlds mingled behind them, sharing knowledge and forming connections that had been forbidden under the old system, Mira knew that the challenge ahead was immense. The Council still controlled the majority of known space. Their influence remained vast. The Alliance was a small light against that darkness, but it was a light that was spreading. "They thought they controlled everything," she said softly. "They never imagined we would simply say no." Beyond the viewport, Earth rotated serenely, no longer alone in the cosmos, no longer at the bottom of an arbitrary hierarchy, but the center of something revolutionary, a community of worlds united not by force, but by choice. The true voyage had only just begun.